In the first decade of the 21st century, the rise of computers as the primary means to record, distribute, store, and play music caused widespread economic changes in the music industry, fundamentally changing the relationships between artists, record companies, promoters, retail music stores, the technology industry, and consumers. The rise of digital music consumption options contributed to a few fundamental changes in consumption. First, the decline of album sales. With the a la carte sales models increasing in popularity, consumers no longer download entire albums, but rather choose single songs. The initial stage from approximately 1998 to 2001 of the digital music revolution was the emergence of peer-to-peer networks that allowed the free exchange of music files, such as Kazaa and Napster. By 2001, the cost of hard drive space had dropped to a level that allowed pocket-sized computers to store large libraries of music. The iPod and iTunes system for music storage and playback became immensely popular, and many consumers began to transfer their physical recording media, such as CDs, onto computer hard drives. The iTunes Music Store offered legal downloads beginning in 2003, and competitors soon followed, offering a variety of online music services, such as internet radio. Digital music distribution was aided by the widespread acceptance of broadband in the middle of the decade. At the same time, recording software such as Avid's Pro Tools began to be used almost exclusively to make records, rendering expensive multi-track tape machines such as the 1967 Studer almost obsolete. The chief economic impact of these changes was a dramatic decline in revenues from recorded music. In the 21st century, consumers spent far less money on recorded music than they had in the 1990s, in all formats. Total revenues for CD, vinyl, cassettes, and digital downloads in the US dropped from a high of $14.6 billion in 1999 to $9 billion in 2008. The popularity of internet music distribution has increased, and by 2007, more units were sold over the internet than in any other form. However, as The Economist reported, paid digital downloads grew rapidly but did not begin to make up for the loss of revenue from CDs. The 2000s period stands in stark contrast to the CD boom of 1984 and 1995, of 1984 to 1995, when profit margins averaged above 30% and industry executives were notorious for their high-profile, even frivolous spending. The major record labels consistently failed to heed warnings or to support any measures that embraced the changing technology. In the early years of the decade, the industry fought illegal file sharing, successfully shutting down Napster in 2001 and threatening thousands of individuals with legal action. This failed to slow the decline in revenue and was a public relations disaster. Some academic studies have even suggested that downloads were not the true cause of the decline. The turmoil in the industry changed the balance of power among all the various players. The major music-only stores, such as Tower Records, which once wielded a considerable influence in the industry, went bankrupt, replaced by box stores, such as Walmart and Best Buy. Recording artists began to rely primarily on live performances and merchandise for their income, which in turn made them more dependent on music promoters, such as Live Nation, which dominates tour promotion and owns a large number of music venues. In order to benefit from all of an artist's income streams, record companies began to rely on the 360 deal, a new business relationship pioneered by Robbie Williams and EMI in 2007. At the other extreme, record companies also use simple manufacturing and distribution deals, which gives a higher percentage to the artist, but does not cover the expense of marketing and promotion. Many newer artists no longer see any kind of record deal as an integral part of their business plan at all. Inexpensive recording hardware and software made it possible to create high-quality music in a bedroom and distribute it over the internet to a worldwide audience. This in turn caused problems for recording studios, record producers, and audio engineers. The Los Angeles Times reported that, by 2009, as many as half of the recording facilities in that city had failed. I don't know what failed means. Does that mean closed down? Consumers benefited enormously from the ease with which music can be shared from computer to computer, whether over the internet or by the exchange of physical CDs. This has given consumers unparalleled choice in music consumption and has opened up performers to niche markets where they previously had little access. According to a Nielsen and Billboard report, in 2012, digital music sales topped the physical sale of music. There's a big chart here. Maybe I can show you over here. There it is. I can't really read that out. Peer-to-peer downloading. Dawn of P2P, Napster. Napster was an online file-sharing service created by Sean Fanning while he was attending Northeastern University in Boston and operating between June 1999 and July 2001. Its technology allowed people to easily copy and distribute MP3 files among each other, bypassing the established market for such songs, and thus leading to the music industry's accusations of massive copyright violations. The first peer-to-peer case was A&M Records Inc. versus Napster Inc., 2001. The court found that Napster was contributory liable for the copyright infringement of its end users because it knowingly encourages and assists the infringement of the plaintiff's copyrights. Although the original service was shut down by the court order, it paved the way for larger decentralized peer-to-peer file distribution programs such as Kazaa, Morpheus, Grokster, iMesh, and LimeWire, which have been much harder to control because they practice more technically and legally creative approaches. File sharing and its effects. A number of studies have found that file sharing has had a negative impact on record sales. Examples of such studies include 3 papers published in the April 2006 Journal of the Journal of Law and Economics. Leibowitz, Robb, and Waldvogel, Zentner. Alejandro Zentner notes in another paper published in 2005 that music sales had globally dropped from approximately $38 billion in 1999 to $32 billion in 2003. And that this downward trend coincides with the advent of Napster in June 1999. Using aggregate data, Stan J. Leibowitz argues in a series of papers, 2005 and 2012, that file sharing had a significant negative impact on record sales. In March 2007, the Wall Street Journal found that CD sales had dropped 20% in 1 year, which it interpreted as the latest sign of the shift in the way people acquire their music. Big Champagne LLC has reported that around 1 billion songs a month are being traded on illegal file sharing networks. As a result of this decline in CD sales, a significant amount of record stores are going out of business and making it harder for consumers to find and purchase older titles in stores. On the 19th of December 2008, the Wall Street Journal reported the following. After years of suing thousands of people for allegedly stealing music via the internet, the recording industry is set to drop its legal assault as it searches for more effective ways to combat online music piracy. The decision represents an abrupt shift of strategy for the industry, which has opened legal proceedings against about 35,000 people since 2003. Critics say that the legal offence ultimately did little to stem the tide of illegally downloaded music, and it created a public relations disaster for the industry, whose lawsuits targeted, among others, several single mothers, a dead person, and a 13-year-old girl. Instead, the Recording Industry Association of America said it plans to try an approach that relies on the cooperation of internet and service providers. Digital business models. With the explosion of formats and the creation of legitimate digital content, the IFPI observed that 3 main business models have risen to dominance. They are a la carte, subscription service, and advertisement-based. A la carte is a service that sells individual songs, typically for 99 cents and now $1.29. That's in America. In Australia, it's much more expensive. A single song can be like $2.19. They are known to consumers as download stores. The leading provider is iTunes Store, Apple Inc., who surpassed Walmart to become the US's largest music retailer in April 2008. I think this whole thing is probably a bit old. Like, I don't think this... I wonder if this has, like... Does this even have... This only mentions Spotify, like, once. I guess just know that this is... out of date. Know that this is a historical document. iTunes Store probably isn't even the leading provider. Maybe it still is. The leading provider is iTunes Store, Apple Inc., who surpassed Walmart to become the US's largest music retailer in April 2008. Sector leaders include iTunes Store, Amazon.com, Seven Digital, eMusic, and TuneTrab. Many hundreds of more stores operate worldwide, often prominent only in particular countries or specialist genres. The third kind of operator never retails directly to the public, instead offering branded white label stores and portals for organizations including brick-and-mortar music stores, mobile telephony operators, and ISPs. Some services which initially only offered streaming of tracks now also offer a la carte downloads, either through third parties, e.g. Spotify, or fully integrated, like Deezer, Juno Digital, Rhapsody, etc. In 2009, Rolling Stone reported a price war between iTunes and Amazon MP3. Bill Carr, Vice President of Digital Media for Amazon.com, mentioned the following of digital music. One of the great benefits of the digital business versus the CD business is that we can experiment with price changes for an hour, a day, or however long we like, with no impact on inventory. A subscription service offers the consumer unlimited downloads for a monthly fee. This approach, according to the open music model, is theorized to maximize revenues in the long run. The sector leader is Napster. Alright. Yeah, it's definitely pretty out of date. Which costs $12.95 a month and offers 6 million downloads and now offers a $5 a month program. Napster's net revenue for the quarter ending on 30th of June 2008 was $30.3 million. Sector leaders include Napster and Rhapsody. Advertisement-based services offer music free of charge to the consumer while the funding is derived from advertisement. The model is widespread, as seen by the success of AOL Music, Yahoo Music, and YouTube. Many of the services are internet radio stations, as they offer continuous streaming music, while others are not continuously streaming. Many of these services offer multimedia or additional services. For example, MySpace, owned by Fox Interactive Media, offers social networking as its flagship service. Yeah, see, it's fucking really out there. Comscore reports the top 10 in internet radio viewership in 2008. AOL Music, Yahoo Music, Clear Channel Online, Pandora Radio, Interactive One, CBS Radio, NPR.org, Citadel Broadcasting Corporation, Batanga.com, Disney Music. YouTube is the premier site for finding music videos for both independent bands and mainstream bands that have released their music on CD or digitally, while also being useful for finding rare songs. YouTube is a multimedia provider, so it is difficult to say how much entertainment it has provided to music consumers. However, it did provide about 1/3 of all 11 billion online video views in the US in the month of April 2008. The site is also testing 3 new landing pages dedicated to the popular categories of news, movies, and music. Each page will be populated with the most popular content on the site related to that category. Some have even hailed YouTube as being the digital successor to MTV, as they seem to be positioning themselves in that manner. Currently, they have mixed relations with labels, as evidenced by their icy relationship with Warner Music Group, but more optimistic relationship with Universal Music. I might do a video later about YouTube, which will be a lot more up to date. I'm just gonna skip all this shit. I think. Decline of analog, rise of digital. This trend has broader implications in the use of formats. It has been a trend in music, television, movies, and print. The Recording Industry Association of America reported data on the music industry sales by format over the 10-year period from 1998 to 2007. There's some data here. So, CDs. I don't know how to communicate all this stuff. The advent of digital media has led to the sudden creation of many new music formats available to the average consumer. In 2003, there were less than 10 formats available, but by 2007, there were over 100. Today, a single artist release can be packaged in multiple formats, including video downloads, ringtones, or mobile full tracks. As the International Federation of Phonographic Industry notes, in 2003, music distribution formats were numbered in single figures. Today, they number in the hundreds. In the digital era, record companies are licensing music across a multitude of platforms in scores of different formats with hundreds of different partners. The rise of MP3 players, which are consumer electronics devices that store, organize, and plays audio files. Some DAPs are also referred to as portable media players, as they have image viewing and or video playing support. The first mass-produced DAP was created in 1997 by Seihan Information Systems, which domestically sold its MP-Man player in the middle of 1998. In October 2001, Apple Computer, now known as Apple Inc., unveiled the first generation iPod, the 5GB hard drive based DAP with a 1.8-inch Toshiba drive. With the development of a minimalistic user interface and a smaller form factor, the iPod was initially notable within users of the Macintosh community. In July 2002, Apple introduced the second generation update to the iPod. It was compatible with Windows computers through Music Match Jukebox, now known as Music Match Jukebox. Jesus. Music is Yahoo Music. The iPod series, which grew to include microdrive and flash-based players, has become the market leader in DAPs. The 21st century saw the birth of 3G-enabled mobile phones, which enabled network operators to offer users a wider range of more advanced services while achieving greater network capacity through improved spectral efficiency. The key advantage of 3G-enabled phones over MP3 players is their greater web integration. This enables users to readily access a far larger quantity of songs than MP3 player users can. For an MP3 player, songs must be stored before the user leaves their computer, but with a 3G-enabled phone, the device is not separated from the source. In 2009, it was projected that revenue from mobile media and entertainment services in the US would more than double by 2014. On the 19th of December 2008, the RIAA announced that it would stop suing file sharers because the strategy is not working to stop the flow of illegal downloads. Instead, the RIAA is trying to work with ISPs to prevent P2P piracy. The decision represents an abrupt shift of strategy for the industry, which has opened legal proceedings against about 35,000 people since 2003. On the 18th of June 2009, CNET News reported Jamie Thomas Rassett was found guilty of willful copyright infringement in a Minneapolis federal court and had to pay the recording industry $1.92 million. This legal battle, Capitol Records Inc. vs. Thomas Rassett, marked the first time the recording industry has argued a file-sharing case before a jury. In France, a new law regarding illegal downloading called Hadopi is being debated. If passed, it would force the internet provider to shut down the subscription while still receiving monthly payment. This double punishment is highly criticized. On the 5th of January 2009, President-elect Barack Obama appointed Thomas J. Pirelli to the position of United States Associate Attorney General. Pirelli represented the RIAA in a slew of cases, including a high-profile bid to unmask file sharers without the requirement of a judge reviewing the evidence first. Obama's selection of Joe Biden as vice president showed that the president hopeful was comfortable with someone firmly. Jesus, this is a bad sentence. Obama's selection of Joe Biden as vice president showed that the president hopeful was comfortable with someone with firmly pro-RIAA views. Biden urged the criminal prosecutions of copyright-infringing peer-to-peer users and tried to create a new federal felony involving playing unauthorized music. In the video game industry, the music category overtook the sports category as number 2 top category in sales, behind action. 58% of players played music games, second only to 65% who played action games. About 50% played sports games, down from 55% in 2007 and 62% in 2005. The video game industry was worth $22 billion in 2008. Guitar Hero 3: Legends of Rock, which launched in 2007, has become the single first game to surpass $1 billion in sales. The announcement came during a CES keynote by Activision Publishing CEO Mike Griffith and follows an announcement that the entire franchise had broken the same mark a year ago. Griffith said that Guitar Hero's monumental success has trickled down to other industries, most especially the struggling music industry. According to Griffith, sales of everything connected to Guitar Hero, from music to real guitars, has gone up.